Ministers have no business telling what should go in books or not go in books. The child is going to grow and is going to get into a workplace where his math skills and his science skills will become more important than which languages knows. Any language is good, so long as he can communicate well. In Maharashtra again, we had a governor saying, let schools begin late because parents like to sleep late. There was a time when Indian universities were climbing numbers. The numbers have started slipping now. Why are they slipping? Hi, this is RN Bhaskar. I separated R and N because I found that many places R and N became AAREN in the autoconvert in the text. Okay, this is RN Bhaskar from Bhaskar Ki Business Baatein. And this is a channel that brings to you every week a podcast on policy. Occasionally I bring to you a business story. And occasionally even a conversation with a brilliant business mind. Each one of these podcasts discusses something unusual, something offbeat, something that people haven't often talked about. And the same thing is about this one. But before we go ahead, a small reminder. Please click the subscribe button if you're not already a subscriber. And yes, click the like button if you like what we're saying. But most important, tell your friends. Tell all the people you know about us. Because we do things that many people don't do. And we'd like more people to know about it because we have national interest and your well-being in mind when we discuss these policies. Come to today's policy. Today we're going to talk about education. Education is a subject everyone thinks he or she understands. But education is much, much more than people think it is. Education is the future of our society. Education is the future of your child. Education is what makes my current status in my office and in society more meaningful. But it appears that India, as a country, is not very, very sharp about education. I don't think they even understand education. Just two simple examples. More legislative time is spent discussing the language of education rather than science and maths.
Recent recommendations given by the Parliamentary Committee on Official Language has triggered angry reaction. The committee has recommended Hindi will be the medium of instruction in central institutions of higher education in Hindi-speaking states and regional languages in other states.
The child is going to grow tomorrow and is going to get into a workplace where his math skills and his science skills will become more important than which languages knows. Any language is good, so long as he can communicate well. Don't waste school time in unnecessary arguments. And the second problem, we spend more legislative time in discussing what should or should not be included in history books. Leave the matter to educationists. Ministers have no business telling what should go in books or not go in books. Half the ministers don't even know the history properly. They have a fragmented, jaundiced view of history. Let educationists decide it. If you want, because you suspect that Indian educationists are bigoted, have an international team to examine education. But get politics out of education. And today, we're going to discuss how politics and political interference have destroyed the vision for education, have destroyed the future that children must have for their own sake and for their parents' sake. Let me give you one example. In April this year, 2025, the Maharashtra government came out with a circular saying, henceforth the government will not decide what uniforms the children should wear. Let the local bodies decide. But why did the government think that they could decide on uniforms? What uniform a child should wear is decided by the school, not by the government. What uniform a child must wear is decided partly by the school and partly by the parent who decides that the child must be dressed in this manner. If you ask children to wear shorts, which are very short, maybe the parent would not like that kind of school. Leave it to societies, leave it to schools. Politicians and governments have no business telling what kind of uniform children should wear. Similarly, in Maharashtra again, we had a governor saying, let schools begin late because parents like to sleep late. Your own Indian culture says early to bed and early to rise. Are you telling me that the parents are now trying to teach children, go to sleep late? We can begin schools late? Is that culture? The governor should have been removed from his office. Yet, the government kept quiet. For me, that's a serious issue because you have destroyed values. But leave that aside. Let's go to numbers. This year, it was found that 9 out of Indian universities had been ranked among the top 50 among Asian universities for the subjects they taught. Not all subjects. So one university was good in maths, he ranked. One university was good in science, that university ranked. A third university may be good for arts, that university got ranked. 9 universities got ranked subject-wise, not for all subjects, in Asia. In other words, this is not a global ranking, it is only an Asian ranking. It is not a full university ranking, it is only a subject ranking. And the top 50, and not the top 10. And yet the ministry puts out a circular on its website saying India shines. It was so funny because when you look to the other numbers, you realize how sad it can be. Look at the other set of numbers. When you take all universities, when you take all subjects put together and then rank universities, India has only 7 universities that rank among the top 100. There it was 9 out of 50, but subject-wise. When all subjects are taken together, India comes only the top 7 in the top 100 in Asia. You can see how the dilutions began to take place. And then go to the next step. If you take global ranking of Indian universities, the picture becomes a little more dismal. You find that no Indian university came below the rank of 150. If you take the top 10 Indian universities, you find the rank between 150 and 400 odd. The best universities are American universities, European universities, Chinese universities, and a Singaporean university. Not a single Indian university comes in the first 100. And there's another thing that is sad about these numbers. Look at the numbers for the last 10 years. You'll find that Indian university rankings are slipping year after year after year. There was a time when Indian universities were climbing numbers in the 60s, in the 70s, even the 90s. The numbers have started slipping now. Why are they slipping? Because one by one, you have removed the autonomy of universities. You told IIMs that the government will decide who should be on the governing board. Let the teachers decide. If you can't trust teachers, then whom will you trust? Ministers? The teachers have moral conduct. If a teacher has a criminal record, he's asked to submit his resignation immediately. Do you do that with ministers? No. The teachers have a better claim to values than the ministers have. Don't get ministers and the government into the business of education. Education is something that must be left to the teachers. Education is something that must be nurtured. And for this, there are three things that must be done. Keep the government out of education. Give autonomy back to the universities. B, pay the teachers more. So teacher salary is equal to private sector salaries. Because if the teacher salary is not good, I will choose a job which gives me a better salary. The best talent will move away from teaching and will go to private sector jobs. If you want good talent to remain in teaching, learn to respect them, pay them more. And the third thing, don't create rules which are not your business. Uniforms are not your business. What students must wear to the classrooms is not your business. And don't interfere with textbooks. If you want to save India, it must begin with education. Because education brings values. Education gives you the potential of growing in life, both commercially as well as individually. Preserve education. Don't destroy it. And that brings me to the end of today's podcast. Thank you for being with me. And yes, before I call it a day, do remember, you have to click the subscribe button. If you have not done that already, click the like button. And as I said before, please tell everyone you know about us. We discuss things that are crucial for India, that are important for India, that are important for your future and the future of your children and the next generation. Thank you for being with me. See you next time. You'll find us now every morning at 8:15 a.m. on weekdays, where we come out with daily news, or better still, news behind the news. Do watch it.